Hello friends. Imagine a fire that glows golden but never burns out. A spark that's both regal and warm. That's the aura of someone born under the bold sign of Leo, paired with the delicate yet intelligent influence of the pig in the Chinese zodiac. It's a fascinating combination, a cosmic cocktail of charisma, kindness, confidence, and contradiction. These are not just people. These are characters written for an epic story. Leaders with a gentle soul. Lovers with a wild heart. Friends who will protect you like royalty, and dreamers who build empires while humming their favorite tune. So, who really are these Leo pigs? Let's peel back the layers. Love, the golden romance. A Leo pig in love doesn't just fall, they ascend into love with the full force of who they are. Love, to them, isn't a quiet affair of the heart. It's a powerful, transformative experience. They don't dabble in affection. They immerse themselves in it, body and soul. Their love is not only passionate, it's performative, expressive, generous, and deeply felt. They approach romance like an artist approaches a masterpiece, with emotion, vision, and the expectation that it will last forever. When they fall, it's never halfway. It's a bold leap into fire and velvet, tenderness and devotion. The Leo side brings in a glowing charisma, romance like royalty. Grand gestures, public affection, poetic compliments, and the urge to sweep their partner off their feet. The pig side, on the other hand, lends emotional intelligence, sensitivity, and a profound need for genuine connection. This unique fusion results in a lover who is both dynamic and deeply nurturing. A Leo pig doesn't just want to impress you, they want to understand you. They'll flirt with confidence, yes, but also listen with intensity, remembering details you didn't even realize you shared. They are romantics in the truest sense of the word. They believe in the soul-deep kind of love, the kind that changes your life, transforms your perspective, and gives you a sense of belonging. Love for them isn't a side note, it's a core mission. They seek beauty and drama in the connection, yes, but it must also be safe. Their pig influence brings a need for emotional stability. They want the butterflies and the warm blanket of consistency. In their ideal world, love feels like fireworks on the first night and a home that never fades with time. But underneath all the charisma and affection lies an unexpectedly fragile core. Leo pigs are extremely vulnerable in love, especially to emotional neglect. While they carry themselves with pride, they're not invincible. A lack of appreciation, indifference, or coldness can wound them deeply, even if they don't show it immediately. They may carry the hurt in silence, suppressing it beneath a mask of humor or independence. And if the pain goes unaddressed, they may withdraw emotionally, building walls that are hard to dismantle. Their inner world needs to feel emotionally held. They're not looking for casual relationships or temporary thrills. In fact, few signs are more committed once they believe they've found their match. Their heart opens completely, and with that comes a strong sense of loyalty. Cheating, dishonesty, or even emotional ambiguity can devastate them. What they want, more than anything, is a love that feels like both a safe harbor and an ongoing adventure. Someone who knows how to flirt and how to stay. Someone who inspires them, soothes them, and sees the full picture of who they are. Their romantic communication is richly textured. Leo pigs tend to speak the languages of words of affirmation, acts of service, and physical touch. They'll text you to remind you how proud they are of you. They'll offer to pick up your groceries when you're tired. They'll hold your hand while watching TV and wrap you in bear hugs when you've had a hard day. These gestures aren't just expressions of love, they're their way of building connection. For them, intimacy isn't just about big moments, it's in the rhythm of shared daily life. In the end, a Leo pig is searching for a kind of mutual devotion. They want to be admired and loved, yes, but they also want to give love that uplifts. They bring joy, warmth, and vitality to a relationship, and they hope for a partner who mirrors that energy back. Someone who understands that behind their sparkle lies a deep emotional ocean. And if they find that, someone who sees both the fire and the heart, they will be the kind of lover who gives fully, fearlessly, and forever. Marriage, royal commitment with a tender touch. For a Leo pig, marriage isn't just a chapter in life, it's the central narrative, the defining commitment that shapes who they are and how they move through the world. They don't approach matrimony lightly or with detachment. In their eyes, marriage is a royal bond, a spiritual alliance, a chosen family that transcends paper and vows. It's about building a world with someone, not just sharing a bed, but sharing a vision. When a Leo pig marries, they do so with their whole soul, stepping into the role of not just a spouse, but a guardian, protector, and lifelong cheerleader. They view their partner as a co-ruler, not a sidekick. In a Leo pig's ideal marriage, both individuals shine, both are empowered, and both feel seen. They want the relationship to feel like a partnership of equals, where love is not transactional, but inspirational. The Leo in them thrives when their union is admired. They are deeply proud of their relationship and are often eager to share its beauty with others. This could look like curated anniversary posts, romantic dinner photos, or public words of appreciation. But underneath the showmanship is a pig who wants intimacy, emotional security, and shared meaning. Inside the home, a Leo pig often becomes the heartbeat of the relationship. They're the ones orchestrating surprise getaways, writing loving notes on the bathroom mirror, or organizing family dinners with candles and playlists. They pay attention to emotional details, the way you like your eggs, the shows you watch when you're sad, the little sighs that signal you're overwhelmed. Their goal isn't just to keep love alive, but to celebrate it, renew it, and nourish it daily. They want a relationship that feels like a ritual, sacred, intentional, and full of life. Their natural instinct is to give. They're protective without being controlling, and nurturing without smothering. They will champion your dreams as if they were their own. If you're tired, they'll work harder. If you're anxious, they'll comfort you. Their marriage philosophy is built on action, loyalty, and presence. But there's a quiet danger here too. Their tendency to overgive, to pour themselves into the relationship without always expressing their own unmet needs. If they feel emotionally starved or unacknowledged, resentment begins to take root, often quietly at first. When their love is not reciprocated, when their loyalty is taken for granted or their efforts overlooked, they don't always confront the issue directly. The Leo in them might become loud, argumentative, or defensive, while the pig side shuts down emotionally, withdrawing behind a wall of sadness or passive behavior. They might begin to dramatize their pain or seek validation elsewhere, not necessarily through infidelity, but through attention-seeking or emotional outbursts. It's their way of signaling, "I'm not being loved the way I need to be." Trust and appreciation are essential for this union to thrive. A Leo pig needs to feel admired, but more than that, they need to feel understood. Their ideal partner isn't just affectionate, they're emotionally literate. They know when to offer encouragement and when to offer silence. They see beneath the Leo's regal exterior and honor the pig's vulnerability. This means noticing when they're deflecting with jokes, or when their anger is really coming from unspoken hurt. It means choosing patience over pride, tenderness over toughness. They are best matched with someone who is strong but soft, someone who exudes quiet confidence, but doesn't overpower, someone who appreciates drama in the right doses, but who also values depth over spectacle. A Leo pig flourishes with a partner who can both share the spotlight and hold space in the quiet moments. They want someone who is emotionally present, self-aware, and committed to the shared growth of the relationship. They need a partner who doesn't just say, "I love you," but proves it consistently, in ways both grand and small. In long-term marriage, a Leo pig dreams of shared projects, traditions, and legacies. They want to raise children or build businesses or travel the world with their partner. They see their spouse as a co-architect of a life that means something, not just to them, but to the people around them. They want a marriage that inspires others. That becomes a model of beauty, resilience, and trust. But most of all, they want authenticity. They want to know that their love is real, reciprocated, and resilient enough to withstand time and change. When nurtured properly, a Leo pig can become one of the most committed and affectionate spouses imaginable. They'll be your loudest supporter, your most attentive listener, and your fiercest ally. But it takes emotional reciprocity, patience, and clarity to keep their devotion alive. With the right person, their marriage becomes a shining example of what love looks like when it's both romantic and grounded, majestic and real. A Leo pig doesn't just want to be loved, they want to build love. To live it, to grow it, and to protect it with everything they have. Sex, the theater of intimacy. For the Leo pig, sex is never just sex. It's an emotional expression, an art form, a soul-level ritual that deserves reverence and intention. To them, intimacy is part passion play, part love poem, and part sacred ceremony. It's where words give way to energy, where connection becomes a language of movement, breath, and subtle understanding. Every moment, every touch, every glance is heightened. When they make love, they want to feel everything, not just the thrill of the body, but the echo of it in the heart and spirit. Leo pigs crave intensity, but not chaos. They want heat, but with purpose. They want to feel desired, yes, but more than that, they want to feel known. The Leo energy gives them a theatrical, commanding presence. They enjoy the spotlight in the bedroom, often taking the lead with confidence, rhythm, and flair. They know how to set the scene, how to flirt without words, how to make you feel like the center of the universe. But the pig softens that boldness, weaving in emotional intelligence, intuition, and a deep hunger for real, soul-deep connection. They're not driven solely by physicality. In fact, their strongest erotic charge comes from emotional closeness. They're most aroused when they feel safe, seen, and emotionally held. A touch means more when it follows a vulnerable conversation. A kiss is deeper when it's paired with trust. That's why foreplay for the Leo pig often begins long before physical intimacy. It starts with shared laughter, meaningful eye contact, whispered affirmations, and the soft hum of emotional resonance. If their mind and heart aren't engaged, their body won't follow for long. They are playful lovers, curious, adventurous, and open-minded. They enjoy experimenting, trying new sensations, exploring fantasies, but always with respect and communication. They're not into shock value or edgy extremes just for the sake of novelty. What they want is shared excitement, mutual pleasure, and a sense of discovery. They pay attention, they ask questions, they read your body like a map. This is someone who wants to please you, not just for ego, but because they believe pleasure is a form of devotion. Generosity is a cornerstone of their sexual identity. The Leo in them takes pride in being unforgettable, while the pig ensures they're emotionally generous. They'll kiss your scars, worship your flaws, and offer comfort in moments when vulnerability bleeds through the surface. Their goal isn't just for you to feel good, it's for you to feel adored. They want their touch to make you feel worthy, beautiful, wanted, and safe. And when the connection is right, they can be almost spiritually magnetic, transforming sex into something transcendent. However, if the spark fades, or if intimacy becomes routine, transactional, or emotionally shallow, they withdraw. Not always physically, but emotionally. They'll go through the motions, but their soul won't be in it. Their pig side makes them sensitive to emotional disconnection, while their Leo side resents feeling undervalued. If they sense they're just a body in the bed and not a heart in your life, desire starts to decay. It's not about frequency for them, it's about quality. They need moments that feel alive, not just physically, but spiritually and emotionally. Seduction, for the Leo pig, is an art in itself. It doesn't start with a kiss or a touch. It begins with an atmosphere, candles, music, lighting, or perhaps a well-timed compliment, a flirtatious glance across the room, a moment of intellectual connection over wine or coffee. It's emotional foreplay. It's banter, inside jokes, soft teasing that builds tension across hours or even days. They love the slow burn. They want to be mentally seduced just as much as physically aroused. And when you take the time to play in that space with them, they light up with fire you'll never forget. The Leo pig is most fulfilled in sexual relationships that blend romance and rawness, where laughter, touch, trust, and chemistry all exist in the same breath. They don't want perfection, they want presence. And when that presence is mutual, they become mesmerizing lovers, passionate, intuitive, generous, and utterly unforgettable. For them, sex isn't just about what happens between the sheets. It's about what happens between the souls. Friendship, fiercely loyal, quietly selective. Friendship, to a Leo pig, is not casual, it's sacred. They don't hand out the title of friend lightly, and once you earn their trust, you gain more than a buddy, you gain a fiercely loyal companion who will stand beside you through every storm life throws your way. These are the friends who show up without being asked, who remember the tiniest details of your life, and who take your joy and pain as personally as their own. A Leo pig doesn't just keep friends, they protect them, nurture them, and invest in them with the full weight of their heart. Their loyalty is unmatched. If you're in their circle, they'll defend you with the ferocity of a lion and the quiet devotion of someone who feels your struggles as if they were theirs. They're the ones who send you that thinking of you text at just the right moment, who drive across town at midnight when you're in trouble, who stand up for you when you're not there to defend yourself. Their support is consistent, powerful, and often behind the scenes. They don't need applause for being a good friend, but they take deep pride in it. And yet, for all their warmth and generosity, Leo pigs are extremely selective about who they let close. It's not about arrogance, it's about emotional protection. They feel everything so deeply that letting the wrong person in can be damaging. They instinctively know that not everyone can handle the intensity of their love and loyalty. So they test people, watch closely, and open up in layers. Their outer circle may be large, filled with casual acquaintances who enjoy their charisma, but their inner circle, that's tight, intentional, and deeply guarded. When they do choose you as a friend, they commit wholeheartedly. You'll find them cheering you on at every milestone, remembering the name of your childhood pet, texting you encouragement before big events, and holding space for you on your darkest days. They are remarkably intuitive, often picking up on what you need before you say it. Their friendships are rich with thoughtful gestures, small gifts, handwritten notes, shared playlists, surprise visits. And because of their Leo energy, they also know how to bring fun and celebration to the table. They're the life of the party and the person who'll sit with you in silence when you need to cry. But beware, this loyalty comes with high standards. If they sense they're being taken for granted, or worse, betrayed, they don't lash out. Instead, they step back, quietly, gracefully, and often without warning. You'll notice the texts slow down, the invitations fade, the inside jokes go unsaid. The Leo's pride and the pig's sensitivity combine into a powerful emotional boundary. Once crossed, it's hard to rebuild what was lost. They don't do second chances easily, not out of spite, but out of self-protection. Once trust is broken, the emotional cost of rebuilding it feels too high. They are especially sensitive to disrespect or inconsistency. If you dismiss their feelings, ignore their efforts, or embarrass them publicly, it wounds them deeply. They may not confront you in the moment, but they'll remember. Their love is deep, but their pain runs just as deep. That's why they need friends who value reciprocity. Friends who notice their efforts and return the care. Friends who speak truth but with kindness. Friends who can handle their strength without trying to dim their light, and who see their softness without taking advantage of it. Leo pigs are often magnets for people because of their natural warmth and charisma. They attract all types: fans, admirers, energy drainers, and loyal companions. But they only keep the ones who prove themselves through time, patience, and emotional honesty. They are drawn to people who are real, people who are kind without being fake, confident without being arrogant, emotionally open without being needy. They want friendships that are built on mutual respect, shared joy, and the ability to sit in silence without discomfort. At their core, Leo pigs crave emotional safety in their friendships. They want to know they're not being used, misread, or taken advantage of. They need friends who can handle their complexity, who understand that they might be loud one day and introspective the next, affectionate and teasing one moment, then contemplative and distant the next. They aren't simple, and they aren't trying to be. What they are trying to be is genuine, and they ask the same in return. To be a friend to a Leo pig is to enter a sacred bond. You'll gain a companion who will stand up for you, believe in you, and never let you walk through life alone. But it requires presence, honesty, and emotional maturity. Because in friendship, just like in love, Leo pigs don't want part-time affection. They want real connection, deep, lasting, and filled with heart. Give them that, and you'll have a friend for life. Betray it, and you'll only see their back as they walk away. No drama, no chaos, just a quiet exit from someone who once gave you everything. Business career, the creative commander. In the realm of business and career, Leo pigs are a dazzling fusion of ambition and heart. They don't just want to clock in, collect a paycheck, and clock out. They want their work to matter. To mean something, to reflect who they are. For them, career is personal. It's a stage for self-expression, a path toward legacy, and a platform for service. They dream not just of success, but of influence, of recognition, of crafting something beautiful and enduring that carries their signature. Every move they make is fueled by purpose and pride. At their core, they are leaders. Not just because they like to be in charge, which, truthfully, they often do, but because they have a vision and the charisma to bring others along for the ride. The Leo side infuses them with boldness, self-confidence, and an innate ability to command attention. They walk into a room and people notice. They speak with conviction, often becoming the unofficial voice in meetings, the one who inspires a group or turns a stale conversation into an energized brainstorm. People listen, not just because of volume, but because of value. But unlike more self-serving leaders, the pig influence adds depth and warmth. These individuals care about the people around them. They lead with empathy. They ask how you're doing, and mean it. They check in on the intern. They remember birthdays. They balance charisma with compassion, and that makes them trusted. In fact, it's not uncommon for them to become informal mentors or emotional anchors in their workplace. People feel safe around Leo pigs, even when they're pushing for high standards or chasing aggressive goals. Because of this dynamic, they often thrive in careers that demand both creativity and connection. Think creative director, publicist, brand strategist, life coach, performer, event planner, interior designer, or nonprofit founder. They are particularly powerful in industries where aesthetics meet emotion: beauty, fashion, entertainment, hospitality, wellness, the arts. Their vision is usually both bold and beautiful, and they have a natural sense of what will resonate with people. If they can create something that moves others and moves the needle, that's the dream. Leo pigs aren't interested in working just for money. Financial stability matters, of course, but their drive is fueled more by meaning than materialism. They want to build something that has impact, something that leaves a mark. That might mean founding a business, launching a brand, becoming a public speaker, or spearheading a community project. They want to be proud of their work, not just for what it brings them, but for what it represents. Their success must reflect their values, or else it feels hollow. Their pig side demands that their efforts serve a greater good. Still, their strengths come with shadows. They're natural presenters, eloquent, passionate, smooth under pressure, but they're also sensitive to feedback. Deeply so. The Leo in them may bristle at criticism, even if it's well-intentioned, while the pig internalizes it, replaying it over and over in their mind. This combination can lead to overcorrection, emotional burnout, or even paralysis in decision-making. They might mask their self-doubt with excessive work or outward confidence, but internally they may be struggling to maintain balance. This is where the importance of supportive, honest allies comes in. Leo pigs thrive when they are surrounded by people who believe in them, but who also challenge them. People who will tell them the truth with kindness. Who will applaud their wins, but also point out blind spots. Who understand that behind their commanding presence is someone who feels deeply and needs real, grounded feedback. With that kind of support, they rise fast, and stay rising. They also need to pace themselves. Their passion can sometimes lead them to say yes to too many projects, overcommit, or shoulder the emotional labor of an entire team. They're natural fixers and cheerleaders, but they must learn to protect their energy. Burnout is a real danger if they don't set boundaries, both with others and themselves. They thrive in roles where they can channel their creativity, but they also need systems, support, and downtime to keep their inner fire sustainable. The best career advice for a Leo pig is simple but vital: don't just work hard, work wisely. Not every opportunity is worth your emotional investment. Not every project deserves your sleepless nights. You're not just a worker, you're a creator, a storyteller, a builder of emotional ecosystems. Focus your energy on projects that align with your values and allow you to grow as both a professional and a human being. And most importantly, surround yourself with people who see the full spectrum of you: the leader, the artist, the dreamer, and the heart. In the end, Leo pigs are not built for ordinary careers. They are made for movement, for momentum, for messages that matter. Whether they're launching a startup, hosting a show, designing experiences, or managing teams, they bring light and soul to everything they touch. Their path is not always easy, but it is undeniably theirs. And when they lean into their strengths, bold vision, heartfelt leadership, and creative fire, they don't just succeed. They inspire. Dark sides, pride, sensitivity, and emotional egos. Let's not romanticize this pairing too quickly, because while Leo pigs shine with natural magnetism and warmth, they also carry a deeply complex emotional shadow. Their dark side isn't always visible at first, cloaked as it is in charm, humor, and social grace. But under that golden glow lies a volatile mix of pride, vulnerability, emotional over-identification, and, at times, self-sabotage. This isn't a sign pairing that collapses easily, but when it does unravel, it's dramatic, messy, and often internalized before it ever shows on the surface. Leo pigs have immense emotional depth, and with that comes immense sensitivity. Despite their outward confidence, they are often haunted by an invisible fear of rejection. It doesn't take a brutal betrayal to shake them. Sometimes, a missed compliment, a partner forgetting an anniversary, or a colleague not noticing their contribution can trigger a wave of doubt and resentment. Because their pride runs deep, they won't always admit that they're hurt. They'll instead cover it up with bravado, silence, sarcasm, or a dismissive wave of the hand that says, "It's fine," when it very clearly isn't. Their ego, when bruised, doesn't just ache, it reacts. If they feel unseen, overlooked, or emotionally dismissed, they may swing into unhealthy compensatory behaviors. This can look like vanity, posting excessively, chasing validation, or seeking attention from the wrong sources. It can also look like emotional withdrawal, ghosting friends, shutting down in relationships, or going into a sulking retreat that no one is invited to enter. The Leo will roar, the pig will hide. Together, these reactions can become a quiet storm of internal turmoil, unspoken pain, and external confusion for everyone else around them. One of their most significant emotional weaknesses is the illusion of strength. Leo pigs often feel pressure to be the strong one, the inspirer, the unshakable presence, which leads them to suppress real emotional needs until they become unbearable. Their pig side would rather avoid confrontation in the name of peace, while the Leo refuses to be vulnerable in the name of pride. This avoidance doesn't make the conflict disappear, it delays it, builds it, then suddenly, it erupts. A blow-up over something seemingly small. A sudden, intense argument. A breakdown that feels like it came out of nowhere, but was, in fact, years in the making. They also tend to trust quickly, sometimes too quickly. Their natural warmth and belief in the good in others often leads them to open up early, offering loyalty before it's been earned. But when that trust is broken, even unintentionally, they don't just feel disappointed. They feel betrayed. The hurt cuts deep and lingers long. And because their emotional memory is sharp, they don't easily forget. They may not hold grudges publicly, but privately, they replay what happened, analyze what went wrong, and question their own judgment. The betrayal of a Leo pig is not a scar, it's a wound that bleeds in silence. Another dark trait, their tendency to tie self-worth to external validation. When people applaud, love, or admire them, they glow. But when the applause fades, or worse, turns to criticism, they can fall into emotional spirals. The Leo wants to be adored. The pig wants to be emotionally needed. When neither need is met, insecurity creeps in, and that insecurity often masks itself as arrogance, defensiveness, or passive-aggressive behavior. They'll act like they don't care, but inside, they're devastated. Growth for the Leo pig lies in detaching their value from performance. They must learn that not every moment requires applause, not every relationship needs drama to feel alive, and not every disagreement is a threat to their identity. Sometimes, true strength is quiet. Sometimes, dignity means walking away, not because you weren't right, but because peace is more valuable than being proven correct. They need to stop waiting for people to deserve their emotions and start owning their inner world as their responsibility. They also need to stop avoiding the hard conversations. Their pig nature often fears disharmony, so they'll avoid confrontation until it becomes unbearable. But learning to speak up before things explode will protect their relationships and their own mental health. Vulnerability isn't weakness, it's wisdom. And not every emotional reaction deserves a throne. Sometimes, the most powerful thing a Leo pig can do is sit quietly with their pain, breathe, and choose a response that honors their long-term peace rather than their temporary pride. In their shadow, Leo pigs can be controlling, self-involved, emotionally dramatic, or manipulative. But that shadow only grows when they feel invisible. When nurtured with love, boundaries, and emotional accountability, they transform. They become wise, compassionate leaders, who know that being human is messy, that feelings aren't flaws, and that healing doesn't always come with applause. It comes with honesty, self-awareness, and the courage to look in the mirror and say, even when I'm not shining, I'm still worthy. That's the work, that's the evolution, and that's where their true power lives. Life purpose: build, love, shine. What fuels a Leo pig from within is not mere ambition, nor superficial goals like popularity, money, or applause, though they're no strangers to those things. Their soul runs deeper. Their purpose is built on the quiet, steady pull of something more permanent: legacy. These individuals are not here to simply exist or succeed, they are here to leave something behind. Something that echoes, something that glows long after they're gone. Whether it's a thriving business, a meaningful relationship, a body of work, or a family name that stands for something, Leo pigs are wired to create lasting value. Legacy, for them, is not about ego, it's about impact. They want to build with heart. Their vision of success is infused with meaning. They're not just trying to rise, they're trying to raise something: standards, consciousness, a generation. They don't want to be remembered for simply being charming or brilliant or talented. They want to be remembered for what they gave, for the energy they left in every room, for the way they showed up, lifted others, and led with love. Their idea of greatness is tied directly to their ability to elevate those around them. This purpose often manifests as a powerful need to create art, brands, businesses, communities, families, movements. There's always a project, always a dream, always a larger-than-life vision on the horizon. The Leo in them gives them bold imagination and a hunger for recognition, while the pig offers compassion and a quiet sense of duty. Together, they make builders who don't just design the exterior of life, but fill it with soul. If you meet a Leo pig working on something, know this: it's not random. It's intentional. It means something to them. They are also driven by connection. Deep, meaningful relationships are a cornerstone of their purpose. They want to love, not as a distraction or a status symbol, but as a lifelong pursuit of beauty and depth. They are romantic in the purest sense, not just about flowers and gestures, but about loyalty, partnership, and emotional legacy. They want to know they left people better than they found them. They want to raise children who are kind, build relationships that endure. They're not here for the temporary, they're here for the timeless. But the most profound layer of their life purpose lies in their ability to inspire. They are natural motivators, not through force, but through presence. Through how they live, through their creativity, their vulnerability, their courage to show up as both fierce and gentle. They have a gift for leadership, but not the kind built on fear. Their strength lies in leading by example, in encouraging others to be bolder, softer, more open-hearted. Whether they're artists, coaches, parents, or public figures, they light a path simply by being who they are with honesty and fire. Perhaps their most important inner lesson, and one of the hardest, is learning how to hold both power and softness. Leo energy tends to strive, dominate, impress. Pig energy seeks safety, tenderness, and humility. The life path of the Leo pig is often about balancing these forces. Learning when to roar and when to rest, when to take the lead, and when to simply love without needing to prove anything. Their highest self knows that true strength isn't about control, it's about authenticity. That shining doesn't have to mean outshining. There is a moment in every Leo pig's journey when they realize that they don't need to fight for attention to be worthy. That they don't need to chase love to be lovable. That they don't have to conquer the world to belong in it. That's when they start to live their purpose in its purest form, shining as themselves, with nothing to prove and everything to give. That's when they stop measuring success by applause and start measuring it by the quality of their peace, their relationships, and the truth they live by. So what drives a Leo pig? Legacy, love, leadership, light. They are here to make beauty that lasts, to speak words that move people, to show others how to rise with integrity, to turn their own journey, full of trials, triumphs, wounds, and wins, into a source of guidance for others. They are here to be fire and shelter, power and grace, boldness and heart. Their life is their masterpiece, and they're building it not just for themselves, but for everyone it touches. That's the mission, that's the calling, that's the legacy of the Leo pig. So, if you know a Leo pig, hug them. Tell them you see their light and their shadows. Because behind that confident smile is someone who's dreaming of a better world, and trying every day to become the hero of their own story. And if you are the Leo pig, remember, you're not just a sign. You're a force. Walk like royalty, love like poetry, and keep building your golden kingdom, one spark at a time. If this resonated with you, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with someone who might be a Leo pig, or loves one. Drop your zodiac combo in the comments and check out the links in the description for more zodiac deep dives and exclusive behind-the-scenes content. You don't want to miss what's coming next. We'll see you in the stars.